Hello and welcome to the Healthy Business Podcast. I am Sarah Cook, and today I'm going to be talking about how you can attract and convert your clients with simplicity and really bring those sales in. Q4 is the time to be making sales. There are opportunities everywhere. And when you know how to do this without the hustle, without the ick, you are going to make massive changes within your business. You could think of the ripple effect, not only just to help your clients, but also the ripple effect for your family when you have more income coming in as well. So we're going to be really looking at what it is that you need to do to attract those dream clients into your world, how you can build that relationship, and then how you can convert them. So I'm going to be sharing how you can do that. I'm going to be sharing places to hang out, because you absolutely don't need to be in every single place from a marketing perspective. It is not about hanging out in as many different places as possible. You didn't become a business owner to be a marketeer 100% of the time. You became a business owner because you wanted to help people. So we're going to look at actually where you should be hanging out. And then I'm going to share with you how you can really create incredible content that converts your audience without the hustle, without the ick, without the uncomfortable sales side. And for me, that's what is really important. You want to have that consistent pipeline of clients, of sales, of purchases, so that you get to grow your business and you get to spend the time on the things that you love to do. So what we want is to attract people into our world. Most of the time I see people when they're feeling stuck in this space is that they so want those sales. So they're pushing out offers, they're selling all the time. And that's when it gets to feel uncomfortable. That's when actually we start pushing people away, because we are forcing that sale. We're forcing everything around buy from me, buy from me. And that's really not what we want to create. We want to create this environment where, people are coming to you because they love what you're doing. They love that connection. They love that relationship. And that is really powerful. So this can also feel quite overwhelming because it is a different way of doing things. And when you're looking at other people's, social media accounts or their websites and things like that, of who you think are successful, you look at the sort of physical attributes that they have, their websites, the social media, the branding, the logos, but actually why they're successful, they are super, super clear on who it is that they're talking to, what their offer is, and they're intentional with their plan of action. They have the right energy, they have the right mindset to be in that space to serve, not just to be selling all the time. And they have creative and magnetic marketing messaging that's talking to the right people. Now, how we get to that space is really thinking about how to attract, to build that relationship, to nurture those people from a space of not really being sure about you, not really sure about your product or your service, and actually converting them into a paying client and hopefully staying loyal to that space as well. Now, that means that you need to be in the right place at the right time with the right messaging. And that is very much around being consistent, which is also very different to being constant. I'm absolutely not suggesting that you need to be 24/7 a marketeer. This is about being intentional. This is about creating targeted, polarizing content that talks to your ideal client in a way that they understand, in a way that gives them hope, in a way that gives them inspiration. So deciding where to hang out is really thinking about where your dream clients are looking for support, where are they looking for information to help them, but also perhaps more importantly, like, where do you love to hang out? Because if you don't enjoy social media, you don't have to be on social media. There are so many other ways that you can be marketing your products and your services, your business, and creating connections. I've got a client who can't be on social media because, she's going through some personal situations and cannot be visible in that space. But she's fully booked with clients because of the marketing strategy that we've created. And so really, really thinking about that, where do you need to hang out? Is this about podcasts and being, not necessarily having your own podcast, but actually showing up as a guest expert, having conversations in different places? Maybe it's about blogging and showing up on search and Google. Really considering what that looks like is so important, not just to them as your ideal client, but also to you. So when we're thinking about actually the content here, we want to make money from your content. Like, that's the purpose of you creating content. The ultimate goal is to make money from it. Yes, of course, we're building that like, know, and trust factor. We're building that relationship. But creating content that actually turns into sales and converts people really comes from identifying your audience needs. It comes from creating content that resonates and therefore creating offers that are actually going to sell. And to do that, we've got to shift the belief. You've got to understand the problem that your ideal client is going through and the result that they're trying to create, and then looking at those solutions that you can provide that helps them shift further along that journey towards the result they're creating. Now, a lot of this is going to come from a messaging perspective of giving value, of building trust, of showing understanding and empathy, really positioning yourself as that voice of authority. And as well as that, giving them hope, giving them inspiration that things can be different, that they don't have to stay stuck in their problem area. Really giving them that hope and shifting the belief that they can move. Because quite often when people are not buying, and I don't know whether you felt this the same as well, when you have a concern about investing in yourself, actually sometimes it's about you not trusting yourself to get the results that you want to get. And that can be the same for your audience. They've been in that stuck place probably for a long time, and they're starting to look for alternative ways, looking for that hope, looking for that inspiration. But sometimes they don't trust themselves that they can actually move to that next phase. So that's a really important thing to consider, is that we need to give them that hope. We need to help them with that belief shift. Now, to do that, there are 3 R's that I want you to remember: being real, being relatable, and being relevant. It's so important to really think about this. So how we're going to do this is really thinking about the 3 R's. So you want to make sure that when you come to messaging, that you're being real, that you are showing up as your true authentic self, because you don't want to work with people who are not resonating with you. They need to kind of know who you are. That's where the trust is built. You want to make sure that you're relatable. So you want to make sure that the content you're putting out there showcases that understanding, that empathy, that you get it, that you know what it feels like to be in that stuck place, but also letting them know that there is another way, that they don't have to stay in that stuck place. And also being relevant, because when you're relevant and making things really make sense to people at a time where they're thinking about it, really getting into that psyche of who that person is and what's going on for them, that's when that empathy, that trust is built even further, because they're like, oh my gosh, this person knows what's going on for me. They understand it. They are almost having that mirror reflection of like, I see what's going on. That's really where you're going to create that emotional hook. And we know that people buy on emotion. So creating killer messaging is so important. And I'm going to share with you 5 pillars that you can use to really help you create that messaging that is going to not just attract and nurture, but also convert. Because as I said right at the beginning, most people, when they're creating content, will actually go out and sell straight off the back. And if we are pushing content out there that is always selling, what we do is push, 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 and we push people away. So we want to flip this. We want to attract people. The way we attract people is giving value, positioning yourself as that point of care, because you do care. You're positioning yourself as that voice of authority. You're educating people. You're giving them value. You're giving them tips. 60% of your content needs to be in that space. Most people flip that and it's all about sales, but actually I only want 10% of your content to be about offers and invitations and sales posts. That way you are going to bring in the right people, because they're going to see the value in what it is that you're doing. You're going to stand out from the crowd because everyone else is selling. Another 10% I want you to think about is behind the scenes. This is you kind of sharing the walk the talk, you not just telling people what you do and how you help, but actually living that, showcasing what it's like to put into practice some of the things that you're helping people with. Another 10% is kind of linked to that, but it's your story, your journey. So this builds up your experience, your voice of authority. What makes you different? Why are you that different weight loss coach? Why are you that different nutritionist or yoga teacher or business coach or career coach, that confidence coach? What makes you different? What makes you different is your story, your journey, your experience. It's not about sharing your story warts for all, but it's about picking out the pieces that are relevant, again, real, relevant, and relatable, that allows you to create content that is understood, but also shows that emotion, that empathy, that connection with people. People connect to stories. And then another 10% I really want you to think about is that inspirational piece. And this is you almost kind of busting a few myths, saying to people that actually you could do it this way, but if you do it that way, you're going to stay stuck. Well, you could do it this way. And by doing it this way, you're going to have real changes. You're going to move forward with things. So, calling things out, not being afraid to share your opinion, that becomes really powerful when you're creating messaging and creating content. So really thinking about that, really thinking about who your dream client is. We know that they're action takers. We know that they're motivated for change. You want to work with people who are stuck, but not struggling. Those people who are struggling are in victim mentality. And there's a very different type of person between someone who knows that they're stuck, but wants to make a change, but someone who is stuck in that struggle, who's quite happy staying in that struggle. That's not your dream client, because they're going to be hard to work with. They're going to be victim mentality. They're going to look for problems. That's not the type of person that you want to work with. So we have to create that belief shift and get them to trust themselves. 2 key questions I want you to think about when you're writing your content is, so what and why now? Like, so what? Like, what does that mean for that dream client? Why do they need this? Like, what is actually the real reason that I'm sharing this content? That is the value of this? That is the purpose of me investing in whatever it is that you're selling? And then also thinking about why now? Like, why is this important for your dream client to know this now? Right? It's really important that we do that, because it creates that action taking. It allows them to not just sit on the fence. It allows them to make a decision about, now is the right time for them to be investing and moving through. And Q4 is a great opportunity for that, because you've got action takers who want to be ready before January 1st. They don't want to wait until January 1st to kickstart things. So call people out in that, in your content creation. Like, I love working with people who are action takers, who want to get their plans in place before the new year so they can start running with their plans from January 1st. That's the type of person that I love working with. Those are the type of people in my mastermind and in my paid client and my programs, because they're action takers. They want to move forward. They're driven. They're ambitious. They want to hit their goals. They're not using the energy that we're feeling with the change in weather at winter to use that as an excuse as to, oh, everything feels hard. I'm tired. Think about how you can create that energy with the right people. That's why I love working with my clients, because they are that type of person. So really considering that for your clients, and also thinking about the content that you're putting out there. So there are different structures that you can utilize when you're creating your content to convert. And it's very much about attracting people in, hooking them in, getting them to understand why it is that you help them, giving them real results and actions without giving everything away. Now, I share a lot of this in my social media success bundle, which actually is on an amazing offer at the moment. So if you want to get hold of this and you want to maximize all the opportunities across the last quarter of the year, go get your hands on it. So it is an amazing price at the moment of just £47, and you will save £200, as well as having a huge bonus from my social media manager, who is going to be running a specific live workshop on creating Instagram content in an instant. So she has the most brilliant 7-second model that you can create reels in, and it's really powerful and helping you create more content in less time. So that's a really lovely bonus for the social media success bundle. You can grab hold of that by dropping me a message on Instagram at Sarah Cook Coaching. Just drop me a message with the word success or success bundle, and I'll make sure that you get the link for it. Or head straight across to my website, sarahcookcoaching.com/social-media-success-bundle. You will be able to access that straight away and dive into all of the good stuff that is in there to help you attract the right people and really make more money, which at this time of year is exactly what is possible for you. So a little side note there, but actually it's really powerful. If you're serious about creating content that converts, we need to understand what we're selling, like really what you're selling, like what the promises, what the transformation, the real results that your offer is going to create for your dream clients. You want to know how to create benefit-led messaging. People don't buy from structures or when they have to learn something or when it feels overwhelming. They want something simple. They want the benefits, the real tangible benefits for them. So that's the messaging that we need to create for people. And then it's about planning things out. Like, I get that creating content, any kind of marketing content, can feel overwhelming because it feels like it's just another job to do on the to-do list. But actually, if we reposition that and we reframe it as free lead generation, which is exactly what it is, then we can utilize really fabulous opportunities to not just plan out our marketing and our content, but actually that's when we can post consistently. It means that you're being proactive rather than reactive and going, oh my goodness, what am I going to post today? Like, how amazing would it be to have a plan where every week or even every day, you know that it's scheduled, it's posted. Content equals conversations. And when you're creating conversations with your audience, that is what is going to lead to conversions. It is so, so powerful when you understand all of this. And I teach all of this in a really simple way within Social Media Success Bundle. It is there as an opportunity for you to max out the Q4 sales opportunities that are there and ready for you to really create anything that you want to when it comes to your business and your sales. So hopefully this episode has just given you a few kind of nuggets, a few kind of maybe just some light bulb moments or some food for thought of actually, am I writing content that is selling my stuff, or am I writing content that is attracting my dream client? So if you've got an audience that is filled with non-action takers, ditherers, fence sitters, chances are you're not creating the right content with the right messaging that is actually going to attract those people and convert them into paying buyers. Go check out the Success Visa Success Bundle. Drop me a message on Instagram at Sarah Cook Coaching, and I can send you all the details. In the meantime, have a brilliant rest of your week, and I will see you very soon.